But, Pauline, I want to ask you about what's happening in Queensland. The government has the power and has cancelled effectively the parliament for the next 6 months if they want to, but these local government elections that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, they say they're still going to happen, but they are the absolute antithesis of anything we're being told about gatherings of more than 500 people, social distancing and all the rest of it here. What do you think they should be doing with these Queensland local government elections and those two by-elections that are very relevant to who's going to be running the state between now and November?
Correct. I think it's over the top what Annastacia and the Labor government have done, and of course what I understand is the Libs are supporting them in the decision to pass that they can actually stop the elections and postpone them to further down the track. And also they're talking about postponing the parliament till September, which is about 6 weeks or 5 weeks prior to the election, which is due in late October. I think this is overkill. I think it is destroying our democracy. This is ridiculous. You know, we're talking about 100 people can't gather in a place. You know, the number of people that have gone to pre-polling already, we've only got another 9 days before the election is actually held on that day. So it should go ahead. This is about, you know, how our local government is run. It's about people voting in the by-elections, and I think they're very concerned about losing Bundamba because it's not looking good for Labor, and Annastacia would want to hold that off as long as she possibly could, and hopefully that she can include it in the elections in October, but it doesn't look good for them. I think it's wrong. That's why we need an upper house in Queensland so that no political party have clear run to just do whatever they want to do in the state. That's why we're in a hell of a mess.
I should tell you that early voting, 400,000 people have already early voted in this election. So, Bronwyn, if they delayed that election, what happens to those votes? Do those people get to come back again in a few months' time? Do they get shredded? Do we ever know what's happening here? What's your sense? I mean, the message is pretty clear about big groups of people. Footy's being played around the country in empty stadiums. We know that you can't go to beautiful bars in Melbourne, right, and to have more than 100 people there. Well, people lining up. I mean, I've been critical of the Democrats forcing people to do it in the United States for their primary. If you're going to cancel it, should they cancel it now, or should they cancel it at all?
No, they shouldn't cancel it. I agree with Pauline. And I think it's not impossible to stand in a queue when you're 1.5 metres apart and just wait your turn if you want to do it that way. I think it would be more of a scandal. I did hear, and Pauline, you might be able to tell me, I did hear they didn't quite print enough postal applications for those votes to take place. Is that right or wrong?
I haven't heard that, Bronwyn. But another point I should make is it's okay for people to get on buses and public transport, but it's not all right for them to go into a polling booth and vote.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
I think we have to make the very strong point that this Chinese virus has, in fact, shut down our economy. I was scoffed at when I said it was one way of China testing its ability to bring the West into recession by sending not only the virus but also the fear of the virus. But Nick, just as I was right on socialism, I think I've turned out to be right on that too. So I think what we've got to see is...
Nick, join us in the rabbit hole. What do you want to say about that?
We can't let our voting system and our democracy be shut down as well. So I just think it has to go ahead and take sensible moves.
I've got to take a break. So, James, you're going to get the first crack after this. But, Nicholas, a response and then I go to a break.
Well, look, I think this is the first time in Sky News history that I've agreed with both Bronwyn and Pauline for 2 issues in a row, because I actually think that they should allow those elections to proceed in Queensland. But my only rider would be this, that I'd need to be convinced by the Queensland Election Commission, and I think they should be able to convince us, that they can conduct the election between now and the polling day in a way which minimises risk. So, for example, I'd get some more advertising out there saying, hey, pre-poll's open, it's open throughout the day, come on down, we've got physical distancing arrangements in place. It won't be more than 100 people, not even within cooee of that in polling booths. So as long as they can put in those measures, which should be quite doable, then I'd say, yeah, let the vote continue. As you said, there's already 400,000 people voted. It's quite manageable and quite safe.